Angelo Badalamenti.
Mr. Lynch, Lives, non dirai, fare. Good morning, Miss so simply, or 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 simply, David, Mr. Very not, it's November 22, 22nd, 2025, this is Saturday in Naples. Yeah, once again, this is I think the third, fourth consecutive, surely the third consecutive, totally cloudy, yes, white, regard, but let's say grey, dark, perhaps, in general, grey, sky in general, and Christmas fest, I don't know if, I think only for a few moments, I think very close to the rain and light rain, but see later. Now I said, now yes, so now better things on this, and it's early afternoon, it's 13 and 20 minutes, 44 and 6 Fahrenheit, 7 Celsius, and this means this is really soft, like this is period, soft black for me, but when it comes to winter I expect better this thing, and now it's still autumn, in fact, last June 17, cioè andato in 4 years, so fact, we passed the really 4 years scar the summer, weather reports, so perhaps someone don't follow me, remember, in during the summer I think body, also the fact that many weeks ago we entered in the autumn, in fact now also for the autumn, 4 years weather reports, obviously not for the other 2 seasons, the winter and spring was in that, on this case, still 3 years and if radical, less and a month we enter in the winter, just for the winter it became 4 years, whatever, so as rap someone I don't remember if the body was in the body watching me, I suppose he did. I'm sure at twice I remember singing strasina. Tutto si è simultaneo, ma per cosa? Il fatto che vi ho scelto Chinese, it's a better number of paradox you have to for me, and I never seen an variation so for this winter spring. Some is the fact for the winter, so si agita cold. For the spring, one thing we agita soft, for the summer we agita hot, so not as in general. For the season, so all the periods are Kasikaji, and as regards the greens, that is new, was nothing with him, if you absolutely, you can complain. Adesso, better surely in this video for 2 reasons. The first one consists in the passage from the summer to the autumn, and the second one in last definitive change of temperature and the visa some weeks ago, and through which now the iris completely changed and pleasant, if not pleasant, surely good, and when the area mean the same temperature with the grease, so the sum of all these things makes the condition and situation completely pleasant, if not pleasant, repeat really good, but all these, at least for me, non è fosse più because from a little feel cold, from a little I think of not, vabbè, non si pensa a them, vabbè, in general for me was good. That when it comes to winter, it can better is fact for me, so it's good also for when this is good. I really explained this thing in the past years, but now I can explain once again when it comes to winter. In fact, in the last 25 days, it's slightly good, obviously. We are behind the November 20th, and we are also going to December, so from a certain point of view, also objectively, it's normal. This thing is still quanto scatto sfiangere più absolute. I can say the many things I just before. It's really bad. Artistic things. In fact, maybe if it's a machine to this. Lingering afternoon, I think at temperatures 26, repeat as just before, 44 and 6 Fahrenheit, 7 Celsius. But important thing is atmosphere is 75. So you do this. Yes, there's the cortini, metti non the story, ma le porzioni di salario come se fossero cortini. Beh, in fact, as you don't repeat, there's this totally white, grey, but see only grey going to the dark, I think, yes. In fact, scan atmosphere in general, and it's not strano, but I think, vabbè, considering the trend of the last days, according to what I read, considering my sensations, I think it's not so sure that later, in the late afternoon, obviously now it's the afternoon, it's early afternoon, but it became, in fact, darker, bleaker, and also it might rain for a few moments. This is the rain because I think yes, from a little very close. Let's see, we see what happens. But as always, no, so intelligence of withers, once we see if it's clear, it's clear today, very clear. Bad, if not tragic. So, se diviso from the cortine, the cortine will sweat with just before the curtains and no story on the in this room. The only difference the color of the flowers. Fact, this is already the third curtain, and the color of the previous second was yellow gold, the color of the first one was pink, and this so if not pink, it's really similar. I don't know if you can notice whether from the shot behind me, I think yes. If not even better from the other shot, practically it's the first part of the video when I show to you, or to which I show to you the weather atmosphere sky from the window. At weather, as you see in the room, so from the green and the new white curtain with the green flowers, long flowers mixed with new plants, and this is the new curtain, that's number one. Yes. For to deepen all these things, also the previous curtain, dear grey curtain with the beautiful painted ribbons. Read the words I wrote perhaps in the point 2 of the first comment or in the fourth comment, I think. separately, I wrote these extended words about this passage and because in curtain, etc. So I don't know if you see it really well from the shot, like the shot showed you for the this curtain, the first part of the video when I showed you the weather atmosphere sky from that window. Or also from this other shot, practically it's a shot similar to the classical shot I filmed more than 3 seconds from Grey Curtain, and that's also a shot that is related to the fact that both when there is the regular shoot and also when there is, but more when there is because FX image now I'll see later little speech sense that I was used for the factory curtain and now also once again also for this curtain, perhaps also for the first curtain the color of the curtain, but in this moment I don't remember this, but surely for the grey curtain is little speech sense is this, but also and always better visual for me its utility in this shot at this point in mythical generation. As regard the riconosciute doing activity also in case also the simulated special sense repeat once again this is but also and always better vision for me its entity in the shot at this point this mythical gen shot. And finally from a mythical key GX 614 APG 635 also this similar gen shot. Yeah, listening to people following the genre reports just like getting it over. So myself trust Busquets and finally I hope you all have a great breakfast. Today it's late in general also for us, in fact when I say late me for us, the importance is fare from the reaction to 2023 it was a study in fact breakfast في انت الناس يوم ليت li starti di te, a fiantanni parte e metti su estero, si finché te regoli sembrano in 2023 il suo sarà ciò. I to repeat, I today close the cigarette, it was for hours. They are just roll obviously strong code 13 and 20, not 20 minutes. But the important thing to show is remember that in some way also the fortunate so memory young. And as we always say. E che fa sono most beautiful after work. Absolutely. Assume since many months I think the most 1 year I was lost the count ho lost the count this thing like factor reason Friday but yes this should be done the video aveva permesso di do 1 time so I made check better review basically did turning which I started to see these things from the new shots and obviously saying it's a joke because we're talking about most 1 year but some whole new shots from the biscuits other my favorites there are many visual combos with visual biscuits and CS I think to know that's not the best kind of types of biscuits chocolate chips cookies or the cookies with the chips chocolate or chocolate chips and if I'm not mistaken also favorite biscuits from Little Ninja nothing in particular there are two things Terry would say red and Aries first one is about the Milk Factory through shots and Naked City Coffee obviously but also the quick chocolate factors as you can notice from the Asher fragment videos the shot even if last I think 10-11 almost 1 year also in the case should be sit on the period lost the control so ne metà ci per few there was no more as quick it finished now there is one thing so we brought it once again since I think 98, 99, 100 days yes also in this case lost the control should be sit on the period so ne metà ci per few so I pattern since that moment iPad inserted it once again in the mix, so very good news. We did this also the fact that breakfast are always about the batteries of last video, in particular Melbourne, and so the last video it's joke, so I don't about most one so of course I'm referring to the first time so that video, but in some way we also consider toll Nicholas breakfast are always Melbourne. And second thing is about CS fact if Arabia CS Canada Italian Serious, Misazzi in position, and magari teams let them do. Because at the first position for me era Bamma Italian Serious, because I do recommend them to you because they are really super bad. Sì. Assume tomorrow is supposed to be fun today. I don't know tomorrow to 11. Man, well, see.